This week on Twende, we embark on a journey of extremes, and that's extreme being cold.
This week on Twende, we are in the eastern slopes of Mount Kenya. We visit the most scenic lakes we have in Kenya. Lake Ellis. Also the coldest place I have traveled so far.
Acha nikwambie bana, hapa kuna watu bado vidole vyao havina hisia.
Why? I got to camp next to Lake Ellis. How did I survive the altitude? We meet a team that plays a very crucial role in the mountains, the porters.
Hii mzigo unaweza beba kaa kilo ngapi?
39.
Wewe unaweza beba 39?
Yeah.
We also got to appreciate the sound of water from Nithi Falls. This is the episode to look out for if you are daring enough, if you love hiking, or if you are preparing to summit Mount Kenya. Last week, we were in the Nithi part of Tharaka Nithi County. We got to see the tallest tree in Kenya. I passed by the magnificent Nithi River and enjoyed the scenic view at Nithi Bridge. I witnessed something remarkable as a water vapor rose from the trees. I got to see how trees make rain in a place that is very special to Mount Kenyan elephants. And ended the show at Mitheru Forest. Pale pumwani ya elephants.
Hii ndio maternity ya ndovu, inaitwa Kaketha Elephant Maternity.
And today we continue our journey towards Lake Ellis, the eastern slopes of Mount Kenya. We left Nithi Bridge at about 3 p.m. We knew it was a bit late, but we were determined to get to Lake Ellis. Lazima tungetest the camping life hapo. Lakini msikue kama sisi, you need to be well prepared as you visit the lake. You will learn why as we go on with the episode. Jumanze, we learned it the hard way. So the distance from Nithi Bridge to Chogoria Gate is about 86 kilometers and it took us about 1.5 hours. Lakini we ended up spending 2 hours to get there as we did a stop over hapo karibu na Chogoria Gate to load the camping tents as we picked our guide who was also a porter. Lakini haimanishi that juu sasa tuko Chogoria Gate ati tumefika. Hapo ndio journey imeanza. We used the Chogoria Gate, which is located in Chogoria. We got there at around 5:20 p.m. After tumefika tu kwa gate, we started to feel some slight changes in the temperature.
Chogoria Gate, tunatuangalia. Hata na feel hiyo baridi. I think I'll have to change. Wear something warmer. I have the right shoes. We have also been told that mountain iko na weather yake, so we don't know whether it's going to rain, visibility, all that stuff, but we're going to find out.
The Chogoria route is the most scenic route on Mount Kenya, with spectacular tree cover through the fairly dense forest cover with both indigenous and man-made trees across Mount Kenya forest. You also get to experience beautiful landscapes and spectacular mountain views. The air was very crisp and clean. I definitely wish it was possible to park and carry air because I could really use some of that fresh air here in Nairobi. Wacha tu tuseme kwa ufupi that the views are breathtaking.
So it's around like 25 kilometers from Chogoria Gate, yeah? Sasa tumefika hapa, mwanzo hata siwezi breathe. The air is so thin. I love it around like 10 kilometers to our next destination.
You can hike along this route, but we opted to take a drive. It was late, and remember, we were still determined to camp at Lake Ellis. I have to warn you though, you have to be prepared because once you get to Chogoria Gate, network hakuna, and baridi inaendelea tu kuongezeka as you go up. So before making the journey, make sure you call the people you love, and depending on zile siku ambao utakaa, let them know uko sawa and that you will be off network. However, before you get to the Kenya Wildlife Service Mount Kenya National Park gate, there's one place where utapata some bars za network. And of course, we must test if at all you can make a call. Haya. And who better than one of the producers? Gishira.
Hey, ni aje?
Poa sana.
Poa poa. Habari yako?
Mzuri sana, labda wewe uko aje?
Mimi niko sawa.
Shudi na peleka aje?
Iko sawa, hata tuko place pali tu network ni kuna kakiti tu pali network iko.
Hapo kwa unaenda Lake Ellis?
Eh.
I hope wala kushoot kifanya hivi sasa hivi.
Washoot. Niwaambie washoot.
Sio nafaa kushoot si hapo ndio kuna network.
Tunafaa kushoot hii pia.
No, si hapo ndio kuna kuangana network.
Hakujua tulikuwa tunamrecord, but a producer is always a producer. Anatupatia sijui instructions from the comfort of his house na sisi hapa. Tension kameanza kuingia juu, it's getting colder as we go up. As is typical of mountains, the weather is very unpredictable. One doesn't know one moment to the next what will visit them from above.
You may notice that sometimes the jua iko, alafu tena baridi, like but in seconds. Yeah. Well, is that a thing about this place ama ni tu Meru yote?
Actually, weather hapa hivi uko different.
Yeah.
In most cases kama sasa hivi unaweza pata kuna rain, ka short rain napotea alafu kuko na jua.
Yeah.
When you least expect.
Meru yote ama hapa?
Hii area.
Around
the mountain.
Around the mountain. Okay.
So unaweza pia kuwa huku kwa mlima.
Yeah.
Ukuje siku tano hakujanyesha. Urudi huko chini upate kukinyesha.
Oh really?
Yes.
So kunanyesha huko down
lakini huku jua.
Na okay, now when it's raining up here,
yes.
Is it obvious that it's going to rain? No?
Yeah.
So there are many factors that affect the weather, na hizi factors tulisoma pale primary school. Now they included temperature changes, air pressure cloud patterns, precipitation and wind factors, which includes its speed, direction and moisture level. Na hapa tumeambiwa how the weather at the mountains hubadilika in a span of minutes. So does it mean that the mountains really make their own weather?
So it has its
own kind of weather.
Yeah.
So lazima ukuwe umejipanga anytime. Because you never know. Naweza kuja sasa hivi upande tu bila mambo mingi, lakini next time ukuje yuko worse.
Yeah, because kuna time nimesikia kuna joto sana. Na si ati kwa sababu tumetembea, like literally nasikia ikianza kujikuna. Nimetoa hivi, immediately nikatoa, mountain nikajua wewe unanizoea.
Baridi kaingia. Kama inge mahali kuna kavali hivi kidogo.
Yeah.
Hapo nimeona.
Okay.
The same way na vile network iko. Variated.
The mountains sometimes provide additional catalysts to create disturbances which are characterized as weather, which are thunderstorms, clouds, and rains. In short, weather events occur when masses of air with different characteristics suddenly collide. When there's sudden change kwa vitu kama temperature, pressure, ama humidity, it causes moisture to precipitate out of the air, na hiyo ndio tunaita mvua. So generally, the climate on the mountain gets progressively colder with increased altitude. The higher you go, altitude increases, air becomes thinner, and is less able to absorb and retain heat. So mnakumbuka vile tulisoma, the higher you go, you najua mnakumbuka, the cooler it becomes. Sasa, hii ndio reality, experiencing it firsthand. Ndio sisi wao, it's getting colder and the dusk is approaching quickly. Lakini si show inaitwa Twende, tukaendelea tu. We finally got to the top. It was now completely dark, and let me tell you, Maina, the disasters began. It's now 8 p.m. We started pitching tents, fetching firewood in the dark, and making our dinner. Na sasa hapa si Nairobi where the street lights, huku ni pitch black. Kila mtu akachukua kona yake. Hapa kukuwa na ati anga mimi ni superstar, anga mimi ndio talent, ati mimi nashikanga tu camera and make you look good, ati kazi yangu ni producing. No.
We'll come back after 2 minutes.
Huyu producer Maggie ndio alikuwa kitchen akiproduce chakula, na Jane and Nelly wakashika tents kuzifix. Walijua si kamera tu ushikwa hii siku. Sisi wote tulijua tujui. We spent the night partly pitching our tents and placing our sleeping bags, shivering in discomfort as we learned that our tents and sleeping bags were actually designed for summer and dry weather rather than mountains, cold and rain. Wacha tu nitumie the slogan ya Kanairo. What? With a little firewood that we collected, tukawasha ka bonfire.
Wacha nikwambie bana, hapa kuna watu bado vidole vyao vina hisia. Msikia vile nimeongea Kiswahili poa.
It was a cold, wet night. The kind where you don't know whether you are asleep or awake, but you're fully aware that you did not carry enough provisions to deal with the environment that you encountered. I think vile tuli have pre-production, we were told katakuwa na kabaridi sana. Na I remember kuna mtu alisema, ati tubebe hizo vitu zote na sisi tumezoea baridi. Wapi? Hapa ndio tulijua kuna baridi na kuna baridi ya Mount Kenya. The early morning found us still shivering with muscles stronger than when we first went to bed. Wacha nikwambia, watu tu walikuwa na kaza baridi. However, some of the people on the team woke up feeling sickly. Ladies and gentlemen, hii inaitwa altitude sickness.
We pitched 6 tents. Hapa ndio mimi nilala, hapa ndio master. Iko na baridi noma, yani baridi hapa ni master. I mean whatever that means. Anyway, kulikuwa na baridi. Hata akili yangu bado ina warm up. But yes, and then come. Hapa ndio kitchen yetu. Tulikuwa na bonfire hapa, which was God sent. Yeah? It was God sent, acha nikwambie. But shida ni unapata moto side moja mwili yako, alafu huku kuna baridi. So inabidi usawi utani hivi kama ka sausage. Funny enough, hata sausages ndio zinapikwa. Yeah.
Lakini as the sun was rising, no matter how cold or sickly we were all amazed at how stunning this place was. Kumbe hata tuli camp next to the lake.
Over here ni Lake Ellis.
Wow! And it is true that mountains are one of the greatest creations of nature. Located 3,455 meters or 11,335.3 feet above sea level at the foot of Mugi Hill in the undulating landscapes that immediately surround Mount Kenya is Lake Ellis. The lake was named after Thomas Evelyn Scott Ellis, who was said to have been the first European to reach the lake in 1927. It is the largest lake of Mount Kenya's Great Lakes after Lake Ellis and Lake Michelson. I walked around appreciating the scenery and the landscapes around Lake Ellis. This kind of view is the one that makes you want to sit still or stand still for hours. Say nothing as you gaze at the hills, listen to the birds and the calmness of the surrounding and the whisper into the waters of the things they have seen for thousands of years and what they see today. That's my way of saying that it is absolutely and totally breathtaking in its beauty. The lake has a wonderful shape with hills around it. It never dries up. There is also a belief that if you throw a stone in the lake, it would rain. Lake Ellis is beautiful. It's not large, but it is said to be good for trout fishing.
As you can see, imesurroundiwa na milima zote.
Yeah.
So it's a freshwater lake.
Okay.
With a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Ndani yake.
Oh, kuna fish?
Yes, kwa wingi sana yani.
Okay.
But after a few attempts, I wasn't lucky enough. Lakini hold on for a moment. Stop and think. Fish kwa lake on the mountains? Aki hii ni miujiza.
Okay, hatujapata fish. Maybe mi ndio sina kismat. Hatujapata fish. But mimi nataka kuuliza, what's the best time? Maybe ni mimi nimekuja the wrong time. What's the best time to fish? Morning ama jioni, yeah.
So how much do you require to hike and summit at Mount Kenya? And what are the essentials you need?
Kwa mtu mwenye anataka kuhike mpaka juu, first of all, you need personal gear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ukipata hiyo gear, that means good boots, warm clothing, na pia unajipanga na your own personal effects.
Yeah.
Then now, there are other charges.
Yeah.
Kuna za KWS Colgate, kuna za porters fees, kuna guide fees, kuna pia ya chakula ndio taken care of. So ukicombine hizi zote, most cases, you find it's around 19,000 to 40 to 50, depending on how long you'll stay.
For sure. We were not well equipped for the mountain camping. I can only say we survived. You need a porter who can guide you through the essentials that you need. So how are porters ni akina nani and what do they do?
Mimi ni porter. Nafanyaga hii kazi ya mlima. Kupandisha mizigo. Siku 4, siku 5.
Na sasa hii mzigo unaweza beba kaa kilo ngapi?
39.
Wewe unaweza beba 39? Siku ngapi?
Siku 4 ama 5. Depend how client paid.
Mimi nakuweka serviceman.
Serviceman? Serviceman sana ni kusema?
Mimi ni mtu wa kuserve.
Wa kuserve,
Ikifika tunapanga hizo matibo, hizo mameza, kutayarisha hizo ndo wakuja wakule.
We pack our camping accessories and leave for the next destination within Mount Kenya Forest. Nithi Falls is one of the hiking trails in Mount Kenya that leads you to a spectacular view of the falls between the stunning landscapes of Mount Kenya. It will take you around 1 hour to hike to Nithi Falls, which is about a 1.5 kilometer hike through the gentle slopes and steep ascents with fairy forests and moorlands passing some gurgling streams.
You know, it's so easy when you're doing a job just to go through the motions. kama saizi, I was just walking. I was trying to get to the next destination, so that I'm thinking about what we are going to say, but I had to stop myself and tell him and say, manze, just experience it. And the first thing I noticed is the vegetation. First, I'm not an expert, but in my uku amateurness, there are all sorts of greens. Look at this green, this kind of green. Look at this green. Look at this one here. Look at that. And then if you notice, the leaves are not very broad. And that's the vegetation here.
So what is the source of Nithi Falls?
Na hapa haya maji naona hii ndio Nithi River. Unaona pale Nithi Bridge iko. The water wasn't very clean, but the source is very clean. Just look at that. Now it's coming from Michelson, Lake Michelson. Na tumeambiwa tunaweza kunywa maji, so acha tuone. Kwanza tusikie kama maji ni baridi. Hey! For sure the water is very cold. It's a flowing river. Let's see. Maji ni masafi hadi unaweza ukifanya tu hivyo meno ni safi. Hata uhitaji kupiga mswaki. Haya. Tuendelee.
And finally, ebu sikia the sound of that water.
Hey! Okay, lazima tukaribie, but kwa sababu ni mountain, sitaki kwenda hapo, alafu nguo zangu warm ndio zinakuwa baridi.
A waterfall is a stunner to stare, a gorgeous scene as the water cascades from top to bottom. I just love the way water sounds. And just when we thought it couldn't get any better, we experienced a rare moment. Do you see that? It's a rainbow kwa umbali. When the sunlight hits the waterfall, it gives us a rainbow, which is an additional beauty to the view. They say that the sound of water is also referred to as white noise, in which we can hear any number of things, and we are able to let go of our thoughts and let the noise wash over us. And this is Nithi Falls, offering free zone for meditation. And if you are looking for a more peaceful space, this is the place. On this journey, I've come to have mad respect for hikers. I mean seasoned hikers. Si wale wanatembeanga Karura na Ngong Hills once in a year. The way the summit seekers tackle one mountain after another makes hiking seem easy. Here on Twende, we have mad respect for Gishira, one of the producers and videographers who has summited thrice. And while I have hiked Mount Kenya, I'm going to do it a second time. That's a challenge nimejiwekea. Something to note, as you plan to go to Lake Ellis, nobody will cater for your needs. However, the camping site is available. So carry warm clothes, preferably thermal wear, to keep out the near freezing temperatures. Trust me, they will make your night bearable. Make sure you also have a good sleeping bag. Carry your own firewood. This will come in handy with the bonfires and keep the conversations going during the night. If you love fishing, carry a fishing rod. You might be luckier than I was. Actually, mwenye atashika samaki, make sure you tag us at Twende NTV social pages.